Well, I finally made it to the Marriott Center. How does it compare to the best of the best in college basketball? Allen Fieldhouse, I will let you know. And after a frustrating loss to Houston, should BYU be in panic mode with 4 straight losses? Welcome in. This is the Open for Business Big 12 podcast. I am your host, John Kurtz. And by the way, subscribe, like as you come in. I will talk about the Houston Cougars, okay? It won't just all be about BYU, I promise. Houston is damn good. I'm not sure if you know that. I'm not sure if you took that from the fact that they almost won the national championship last year, but this team is still nails. Incredibly impressive. Walking into a Hornets' nest, really tough environment tonight. They took Richie Saunders out of the game. Defensively, Houston made his life really, really difficult the entire night. And it seemed like whenever Houston needed a bucket or an offensive rebound in particular down the stretch, they had it. I mean, there was a span of about 4 straight possessions. It was 4 straight possessions at one point in the second half that separated the game, made the difference because Houston got 4 straight second chance buckets off of that. It was a really impressive effort from Houston here, okay? So, with all of that in mind, obviously Houston is national championship good. I mean, they continue to prove that. The Big 12 title race with Houston and Arizona, perhaps others, but for now, Houston and Arizona, I think, look like the 2 best teams. By the way, did you see what Arizona did today? Oklahoma State maybe still celebrating, coming off the high of beating BYU earlier this week. That was an insane effort by Arizona. They look like they are damn near impossible to beat at home. Obviously, cannot wait to watch Houston and Arizona play hoops later on this season. But today, I think I'm still not ready to say, like, hey, BYU, someone asked me right after the game, like, can BYU get past the second weekend of the NCAA tournament? I mean, I certainly have my doubts right now that would happen, but I wouldn't put it past them to get to the second round or the second weekend. Did I say second round earlier? Second weekend, if I misspoke there. For the second weekend, I think they still can be. I would tell everybody to heed the words that I said earlier this week. Is it still just the dog days of the season? We're in February in the Big 12, and 3 of these 4 losses have been against Arizona, Houston, and Kansas. Those are 3 very good basketball teams. That was Kansas with Darren Peterson playing basketball, all right? So that makes a big difference. The Jayhawks look really, really good right now when he does actually play. But there are some issues, and I think Houston did something very, very smart in this game, which was, hey, let's go take out Richie Saunders. If you're going to choose between A.J. DeBonsa and Richie Saunders, who do you want to take out of the game? I would take out Richie Saunders. And it's nothing against A.J. DeBonsa, but I think his style, the way he gets his, it is a little more, it's something you can give up and something that can happen without getting the whole BYU offense into a crazy flow that you won't be able to stop. Whereas Richie Saunders gets going, it feels a little bit more like, all right, everything is going to be humming off of that for BYU. And I just, early on in the game, I can remember some possessions early on, watching Richie Saunders just sprinting the baseline, stopping on a dime, turning back and forth, doing everything he could to get open. And it was pretty tough sledding for him there. So obviously A.J. DeBonsa was really good and had some impressive moments and tried to carry this team. But one of the things that hurt, and I know I've made it 3 minutes and 54 seconds in here with only saying it once, I think so far in the broadcast, missed free throws. Man, A.J. DeBonsa struggled at the line. BYU missed 11 free throws tonight. Okay, they had missed 11 when it was a 7-point game with just a couple minutes left to go. And you're like, just do the simple math there. You have a night where you just miss 4 or 5 free throws. You're right there down the stretch. And this building would have had more of a chance to get into it, because here's where I will address the question, obviously teased in the video. How does the Marriott Center stack up to the best venues that I have seen covering the Big 12 now for, about 15 years? I mean, look, I've been to Allen Fieldhouse. Nothing is touching that, and I would still stand by that after tonight. This is a bigger arena. First of all, to me, has more of a NBA arena feel as I walk into it, as opposed to Allen Fieldhouse being the old school Fieldhouse. I walked into, I'm going to blank on the name here. I'm sorry, BYU folks. And I have a lot to say about Provo and the experience here and the people at Explore Utah Valley who were awesome to me. You're going to get another video about that very, very soon. But I popped in with some of them too. There was a professional volleyball tournament going on in one of the old field house where they used to play basketball. I mean, that's what Allen Fieldhouse feels like. Whereas this, you walk in and it's like, yeah, this feels like, kind of like legitimate NBA arena type atmosphere with a ton of people. And at moments, like when there were peak moments, it got very, very loud. And I thought, all right, yeah, this does challenge some of the loudest moments that I have heard. I mean, I've been in Hilton Coliseum as well to hear that when it gets really, really loud. There's a difference here because of the amount of people. So, I mean, I would certainly put this up against anything else I've experienced in the Big 12. Now, in fairness to Texas Tech fans, I've been to Jones AT&T Stadium a bunch of times, like 5-6 times. I have never actually been to a game at United Supermarkets Arena now. I have not been to a game there. So in all fairness, that is an incomplete grade for me because I have not been there. But everywhere else that I have experienced basketball games in the Big 12, Hilton Coliseum, Bramlage Coliseum, Gallagher-Iba, like a lot of these places that I think can get really loud and really rowdy when the team is good and it's filled up. Hilton probably beyond that. Iowa State deserves to be a tier above some of those others. But, Bramlage, when it's full throat, can be an awesome, incredibly intense environment. You just typically only get that a couple times a year, depending on how good the team is. And BYU definitely compares to any of that type of environment that you're going to talk about. But Allen Fieldhouse is just, obviously, look, I'm a K-State guy. It pains me to admit that to an extent, but it's a college basketball cathedral for a reason. They will those teams to wins all the time. It is just consistently so freaking loud. And at the biggest moments, it rattles you to your core in a way that I wasn't sensing and feeling here. Now, at the same time, I don't know that I saw like the best game to get the full scope of the environment here at the Marriott Center because, well, BYU did make one run to take the lead briefly there. I mean, Houston pretty much controlled this game. They were in control for like 90% of this game, and there were just a lot of frustrating moments where, I mean, all the way down to the lads. It was Emmanuel Sharp, right, who had the three that popped like in and out and then just back in at the end there. Just this last gasp. That felt very, very much like it encapsulated kind of the feeling of the night where it was just like, oh, like you're close to being real close to getting the win. It was like a step away from being a step away kind of a thing much of the night. And that was one more moment where like, okay, it could have been a 5-point game with BYU getting the ball back with just over a minute left. Instead, that three drops in and you're just like, okay. So that was the kind of night it was. I fully embrace and understand. I didn't get this place probably at its best and at its peak. But at those peak moments, man, it is very loud. And the Rock, the student section, does a great job like keeping the energy up throughout the game. So great environment, not Allen Fieldhouse worthy, but that is okay. Nothing, I don't think, in college basketball is. So I do want to say, and like I said, I'm going to make a full video of this. You guys, I'm turning into a travel vlogger. Okay, watch out for this channel. Next thing you know, it's going to be videos of me going to Tahiti or something here because your boy is suddenly a travel vlogger. I've had this thing out all over Utah Valley, all over Provo over the last like 36 hours. And they have been incredible hosts, like just awesome. Man, yeah, appreciate the whole crew at Explore Utah Valley. Appreciate Skylar Beltran, the county commissioner that met up with me, like so many great people. John McBride at BYU, awesome to me today. Had a chance to, Tom Holmoe, had a chance to talk to him. Like, I just cannot say enough about everybody here and how welcoming they have been. So I appreciate it immensely. There are some observations that I have from that. One, guys, I found there are multiple bars here where you can go drink. You come watch your team here, I promise you can go grab a drink. And actually, I've heard of now, like I think 4, because then my hotel, the Marriott, which has an insane view out the window, by the way, when you wake up, it's a bar there too. I went to ABG last night, checked out a band playing. I forget the name of the other one that they were telling me about. Anyway, you can find places to come drink here. I would highly suggest just hanging out. The scenery is amazing. They've got a cool music scene that I was learning about. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I got a tour of the BYU football facilities, popped in the locker room. Like, now that may not be accessible to you if you come on a trip, but I will show you all the highlights, okay? But I did want to shout that out because I put it out on Twitter. I feel like that's an important thing. People do need to know if you come here, you can find all sorts of ways to have a really, really good time. And I frankly, I don't know that you're finding a better combination of scenery, entertainment, and big time athletics in college sports right now. I just don't think you are. So that's going to wrap it up for me. It's been a long day for your boy, and I'm glad that I finally got to experience this. But these 8:30 tip-offs, man, I'm up here 11:41. I'm going to be at Sundance tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. Shout out to everybody over there. I can't wait to experience it, and then be flying back during the Super Bowl, watching the Super Bowl on an airplane. Take care. Thank you again to everybody who welcomed me here. If you came up and said hi, met so many people that it was awesome to see them too, and everybody once again, so very kind. So thank you for all the support. Thank you to all the love for those of you here in and around Provo. Congratulations to Houston. You guys are just freaking nails, and keep rolling toward, we'll see, hopefully another Final Four and maybe a national championship this year. Take care. Like and subscribe, guys. We hit the 30,000 subscriber mark. I will talk more about that on the next live show as well. So anyway, that'll do it for me. You will not get a live show tomorrow. This is your fair warning of that, because again, I will be on the plane, the Super Bowl, all that, right? But just giving you another heads up about that. You'll hear much more from me soon, but for now, from Provo, signing off, John Kurtz.